Hello and welcome to another episode of Great Lakes Post Livestream. I'm Casey Campbell. Thank you for tuning in. We have a very special guest today, fresh off his top 5 finish at last night at Bristol Motor Speedway in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Mr. Myatt Snider joining us live from his car, getting ready to have a day on the lake after a long race yesterday. Myatt, how are you, man?
I'm great, man. This is it was an awesome finish yesterday. We had a great run in our Taxler Chevy Camaro, and I'm just so stoked because that was RCR's first top 5 of the year, and really made me feel like we could contend for some wins. So just the only thing that I'm sad about is the fact that I don't have another race with RCR until way later in the year. So hopefully I can do one better than that when I come back around to them.
Yeah, you did have some fun times with RCR. You got a pole earlier this year, your first pole at Daytona in the beginning of the season, which feels like an eternity ago. What was that like starting off right off the bat and getting it done there?
Yeah, it has felt like an eternity, man. It's weird because you think that's it's almost June now, and that was way back in February, and so much has happened since then. But RCR has had some phenomenal performance on the super speedway races, and that race is no different. I think I was able to continue on the streak of people in the 21 car or the 2 car or whichever car from RCR winning the pole. So yeah, just super happy with that, and yeah, that was a fun race that day for sure. To get the pole my first race and the lead laps my first race really just is a great way to start off the year.
Yeah, since NASCAR's came back from the pandemic, you had 10 weeks, no practice, they've gone to this no practice, no qualifying. How do you like it so far?
For me, I think it's been the best way to immerse myself in the Xfinity Series cars because, it kind of levels the playing field a little bit. There's a lot of the guys who come to these races and they know exactly what they need. And so for me, as a guy who has never been to some of these tracks in an Xfinity car, just never been in one of these tracks, period, it kind of helps me to just get in there, figure out what I need, and just go race. Whereas some of those guys, like in practice, they can get their cars really good and they know exactly what they're going to need for a long run for them. So for me, it just helps me to level the playing field. So I think that's helped me to get better results. And yeah, I've honestly preferred it. But some of the places that we're going to go in the future, like the road course at Indy, I think we're definitely going to need some practice there. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far.
All right, Myatt. Coming up after this, we'll talk about Myatt's beginning in racing. We'll be back.
Is your money not sure what to do with itself? At Ally, we'll help it save for the future with our smart savings tools. For all things money, you deserve an ally.
And we're back. Myatt Snider joins us. So Myatt, everyone has this journey of how they got started. How did this racing thing get started for you?
Well, I was kind of just immersed in racing ever since I was born because obviously my father is Marty Snider, who's a pit road reporter for NBC. And he's kind of been around the block as far as NASCAR goes. He's reported just about for every single media outlet that has been in NASCAR. So he's done it for ESPN, MRN, TNT, and now NBC. So I was just always involved with it. Like I always would see him on TV and just see him growing up. And so it's just funny because I grew up with a bunch of kids whose dads were also involved in the TV industry, and we all have the same mentality. We're just like, oh yeah, my dad was on TV, and it's a totally normal thing. So, but for me, I was always around racing. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, so the central hub for racing, for NASCAR racing in America, is obviously around Charlotte. So, but yeah, I also had some friends who raced too, and that's what ultimately got me in racing. Like I saw a friend racing, and I was like, I can try that. And so for me, it just started out as kind of like a hobby thing. It was just a fun thing to do after school during the summer and all that. And started taking it a little bit more seriously when I was a teenager, and then started doing some late model racing when I was 18, and then moved on to ARCA in 2016, then trucks for the next couple of years, and now this year in Xfinity.
Speaking of Dad, he's going back to work this week. He'll be down covering the IndyCar race on NBC. How do you feel about going back to work? And has he talked about what he's got to do? Because I don't know if you saw this, but a lot of changes are going to be on pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't quite talked to him yet about how he feels about it, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of the as far as sports that have come back, during all of this pandemic stuff, racing has probably been the best in taking precautions to make sure that the spread of coronavirus is limited. So I don't think he'll be in any danger. But yeah, it is interesting to see that IndyCar is coming back.
Yeah. Also, you kind of got with this racing thing. I know you got a younger brother that's kind of getting into it as well. What's he like? Does he think he wants to do this too?
I think he's just enjoying it for some fun right now. He's kind of in that stage where it's just a fun thing to do after school, but he really wants to do it, and he's gotten a lot better over time. He started out and he was a little bit new to it, and he's gotten a lot better since. He's already a better listener than I am, so that'll take him far if he wants to turn it into a career. But yeah, he's having fun with it.
All right, coming up after this, we'll get into some things that you may not know about Myatt Snider. We'll be back.
What is this thing?
The Roxor.
Ain't no turn signals.
No traffic where this goes.
Ain't no plastic.
Nope. Box steel frame, too.
Woo-wee, that's pretty. No nav TV screen.
It's up there.
Ain't got no license plate.
Ain't street legal. That's the best part.
If you're looking for unmatched capability and industrial strength durability, it all starts here for under 16 grand.
Ain't no toy, huh?
Nope.
And we're back. Myatt Snider joins us once again. So, one of the things I know about you, or I think I know about you, is that you're a big fan of space. And of course, the big news regarding the space world, of course, SpaceX launched this weekend. I'm sure you watched it, and I know you were excited about it. What was it like seeing that?
Yeah, I am a big fan of space, but I'm mostly just a big nerd. So I like space and science and math and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was cool to see the first launch of humans from American soil to space to the ISS in 9 years. It was cool to see that. I watched it all the way from launch. I watched it all the way from launch to when they got into orbit and all that, and I got to see everything happen successfully. So that was really cool to see. Also watched them dock the next morning. So yeah, I eat all that kind of stuff up. I love space. I love seeing humans do incredibly impossibly seeming things. So it's just really cool to see something like that, and a little bit of good news in these troubling times.
Oh yeah. I know you also have. I know you like a lot of food, but what's something that your biggest pet peeve when it comes to food?
Oh man, that's an easy one for me actually, because I can't stand seeing pineapple on pizza. I think that fruit does not belong on pizza in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure that some people would argue against it, but I'm not for it.
Yeah, I think it's weird either. What's the most interesting thing that people may not know about you?
Oh man, so I do a lot. I stay busy. In my personal life, I just bought a house recently, which was a big milestone for me because I've been trying to work at it for a while now. I also am a math major at UNC Charlotte, so I'm studying just pure mathematics, which is difficult to say the least. And I'm also a student pilot, so I've kind of had to put the piloting on the back burner. But now I've decided to kind of put school off for a little bit, just because I'm getting more focused on racing. So hopefully I can get my private pilot license this year.
Oh, nice, man. Well, my always a good conversation every time we get a chance to talk. Hopefully we'll see you soon at the track. Thank you for coming on, man, and enjoy your day, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
And that's all for us. Thank you so much for watching this Great Lakes Post live stream and the privilege of your time. I'm Casey Campbell. We'll see you next time.